Hello everyone, welcome to this channel. Today we are going to see testing of conflict serializability of transaction chapter. Okay. Now, testing conflict serializability in DBMS. Okay. A precedence graph or serialization graph is used commonly to test the conflict serializability of a schedule. It is a directed graph having vertex and edges consisting of a set of nodes. Nodes are nothing but the vertex or the transactions we can say over here T1, T2, T3 and so on. And a set of directed edges E is equals to E1, E2, E3 and so on. Okay. That means what? Here this T1. Okay. ग्राफ कैसे बनाते हैं जिसको नोड होते हैं तो this node is nothing but the vertex of a graph and here this is nothing but the edge. Okay, and this is nothing but the edge and this is what the transaction T2. Okay, and since it is telling a directed graph, that's why here this is what the direction. Okay, and this precedence graph is basically used to test the conflict serializability. Okay, let's go ahead and see. The set of edges is used to contain all edges Ti to Tj for which one of the three condition holds. Okay, for which one of the condition holds. So here these are the three conditions. 1, 2nd and 3rd. Okay, 1st, 2nd and 3rd. These are the three conditions. If these three conditions are there into your schedule, then there will be definitely an edge. Okay. So here see very first condition Ti to Tj. Edge कैसा है Ti to Tj. If Ti executes write Q before Tj executes read Q. Okay. Before Tj executes read Q. सपोज आपका टी आई क्या है सपोज यहाँ पे है टी आई है सपोज वी कैन से T2. ओके इफ दिस ट्रांजेक्शन T2 इज परफॉर्मिंग सर्टेन राइट ऑपरेशन. ओके अगर ये राइट ऑपरेशन परफॉर्म कर रहा है किसके पहले परफॉर्म कर रहा है T1 के पहले या ओके T1 के पहले. मैं एग्जांपल ले रही हूँ यहाँ पे अगर T1 के पहले T2 ने राइट ऑपरेशन परफॉर्म कर लिया देन एज कैसा होगा आपका T2 से T1. तो दिस इज हाउ द एज विल बी. ओके अगर T1 ने पहले राइट परफॉर्म किया T1 ने पहले राइट परफॉर्म किया ओके किसके पहले T2 के पहले सपोज देन हियर दिस इज हाउ द ट्रांजैक्शन और द प्रेसिडेंस ग्राफ और द एज विल लुक लाइक. ओके T1 ने परफॉर्म किया राइट ऑपरेशन. ओके किसके पहले परफॉर्म किया इसने रीड करने के पहले राइट. तो इस तरह का अगर कुछ है देन दिस इज व्हाट T1 टू T2 द एज विल बी ड्रॉन. अगर पहले T2 राइट परफॉर्म कर रहा है T1 के ठीक है T1 रीड करने के पहले राइट देन द एज इज फ्रॉम T2 टू T1. ओके दिस इज व्हाट द कॉन्सेप्ट इज. Likewise here also create a node Ti to Tj if Ti executes read Q before Tj executes write Q. ये read पहले परफॉर्म कर रहा है फिर ये राइट कर रहा है. ओके तो एज कहाँ से होगी एज इस तरह से होगी. ओके इज इट क्लियर. अगर ये रीड पहले परफॉर्म कर रहा है और ये राइट बाद में परफॉर्म कर रहा है तो एज कैसी होगी T1 से T2 होगी. क्लियर है. सिमिलरली ये थर्ड कंडीशन है Ti टू Tj इफ Ti एग्जीक्यूट्स राइट Q बिफोर Tj एग्जीक्यूट्स राइट Q. ओके देन अगर ये राइट परफॉर्म कर रहा है एंड बिफोर इसके राइट परफॉर्म करने के तो एज कैसी होगी आपकी इधर से इधर. इज इट क्लियर टू एवरीवन. तो दिस इज हाउ वी आर गोइंग टू क्रिएट द प्रेसिडेंस ग्राफ. लेट्स सी दिस विद एन एग्जांपल ओवर हियर. So here you can see this is the schedule with the transaction T1 and T2 and these are nothing but the number of instructions present in the schedule. Okay. R is nothing but a read and W is nothing but write. And these are the instructions performed in an interleaved manner. That's why this is said to be as what? Non-serial schedule. Okay. Next. So here we are trying to create precedence graph. Very first step over here is what? Make two nodes corresponding to transaction T1 and T2. Since we have T1 and T2, two transactions in this schedule, that's why here the nodes will be what? T1 and T2. So this is what the very first step we have to write two nodes over here. Okay, next step. For the conflicting pair, read. Okay, for the conflicting pair, read and write. As I said, RW, read, write is a conflicting pair. Okay. Then here transaction 1 is performing read first and transaction 2 is performing write afterwards, right? That's why the age is from T1 to T2. That's why the age is from T1 to T2. I hope you are getting this. T1 ने read पहले perform किया है before it executes, transaction T2 executes the write operation. That's why the age is from T1 to T2. Let's go ahead and see. For the conflicting pair, write and write. Write is again a conflicting pair since it is writing on the same data object, that is X, right? This 2 is indicating transaction T2 has performed write on the data item X before T1 writes on the data item X. तो कौन पहले परफॉर्म कर रहा है? T2 परफॉर्म कर रहा है, ठीक है? That's why the age is from T2 to T1. ऐसे दिख रहा है T2 to T1. Here the age is like this, T2 to T1. Okay, that's why here we say what? T1 से T2 को एज जा रहा है, फिर T2 से T1 को एज जा रहा है. तो ये साइकिल हो रहा है, T1 से T2, फिर T2 से T1. ऐसे सर्कल साइकिल क्रिएट कर रहा है. अगर साइकिल क्रिएट हो रही है देन वी से द गिवन स्केड्यूल इज ए नॉट कॉन्फ्लिक्ट सीरियलाइजेबल स्केड्यूल टू एनी सीरियल स्केड्यूल. तो इस तरह से हम लोग चेक करने वाले कि स्केड्यूल आपका कॉन्फ्लिक्ट सीरियलाइजेबल है या नहीं है. राइट टू एवरीवन. नेक्स्ट let's go ahead and see the next example over here. So this is what the next example, that is schedule 1 with 3 transactions over here, right? T1, T2, T3. These are the 3 transactions, okay, with a number of instructions in it. The very first step is what? In the precedence graph, we are going to write all the transaction at the vertex place or at the node place, okay? So T1 we have written, T2 we have written, and T3 we have written, right? Next, who is performing read on data item X? Transaction T1 is performing read on the data item X. Now we have to see for transaction T2 and T3, is there any operation that is conflicting to this read operation? So let's go ahead and find. So this is RY. So this is different data object. This is Y. Again different data object. This is X. Okay. This read X. This is read X and this is read X. As I said, read is a non-conflicting pair. ठीक है, तो इससे फर्क नहीं पड़ेगा. तो हम लोग यहाँ पे कोई एज नहीं निकालेंगे, right? We are not going to draw any edge for the non-conflicting operations. Okay. Now let's see. Rx and write X. This is what R is read and this is what write. So read write is a conflicting pair. Okay, that's why the age will be drawn between the conflicting pair, and T1 is performing read before T2 is writing. That's why the age is how? T1 to T2. T1 to T2. Let's see in the precedence graph. Yes. See here, this age T1 to T2. Is it clear to everyone? This is what T1 to T2. Right? Next, see, chalo. This is what? Read Y. Okay. T3 is performing read operation on the data item Y. Let's find for T1 and T2 any conflicting operation is there in these 2 transactions. So here, yes, read and write. These are the conflicting operation, right? T3 is performing first read operation, then T2 is performing. Then the arrow is how? T3 to T2, right? T3 to T2. So here you can see T3 to T2, okay? Is it clear? Next, here you can see this is what? Write X, okay? Again, here you can see write X and read X. Write, read are the conflicting operation, okay? So here you can see T1 to, here you can see T1 to T3, right? T1 to T3, but there is already an age from T1 to, no, from here, sorry, T1 to T3, right? So here you can see this is what the age T1 to T3, right? Since T1 is performing first, that's why the arrow will be from T1 to T3. Now let's go ahead and see. This is what? T3 and this is what? T2. That means what? The age is from T3 to T2. Okay, the age is from T3 to T2. Age is already drawn over here. There is no need to draw the age again. So here you can see there is no cycle. Okay, there is no cycle in this precedence graph. See, T1 is going to T2, but T2 is not coming back to T3, right? T1 is going to T3, T3 is going to T2, but T2 is not coming back to T1. That means what? This is a acyclic graph. That's why here